Welcome to Stoic Mastery, where we delve into the ancient philosophy of Stoicism and explore its practical applications in modern life. In this video, we'll be discussing Stoic strategies for overcoming perfectionism and cultivating self-compassion. The Stoics believed that perfectionism is a misguided pursuit, and that true happiness and fulfillment come from learning to accept our flaws and imperfections. We'll be drawing on the wisdom of famous Stoics like Marcus Aurelius, Epictetus, and Seneca, as we explore practical tips and techniques for embracing self-compassion and letting go of the need to be perfect. So let's dive in and discover the power of Stoic philosophy. The Stoic philosopher Epictetus believed that we should focus on what is within our control and let go of what is not. When it comes to perfectionism, this means recognizing that we cannot control every outcome or circumstance. Instead, we should focus on doing our best and accepting the results, whether they meet our expectations or not. Marcus Aurelius, another famous Stoic, emphasized the importance of self-reflection and mindfulness. He believed that by taking the time to examine our thoughts and feelings, we can gain a greater understanding of ourselves and learn to be more self-compassionate. One practical technique for cultivating self-compassion is to practice gratitude. Seneca, a Stoic philosopher and statesman, wrote about the power of gratitude in his letters. By focusing on what we are grateful for, we can shift our attention away from our flaws and imperfections and cultivate a sense of contentment and peace. In summary, the Stoics believed that perfectionism is a misguided pursuit, and that true happiness comes from accepting our flaws and imperfections. By focusing on what is within our control, practicing self-reflection and mindfulness, and cultivating gratitude, we can learn to be more self-compassionate and live a more fulfilling life. The Stoics also emphasized the importance of focusing on the present moment, rather than worrying about the future or dwelling on the past. This is particularly relevant when it comes to perfectionism, as we often become fixated on achieving a certain outcome or attaining a certain level of success. Seneca wrote about the importance of living in the present moment in his essay on the shortness of life. He argued that we often waste our time pursuing things that are ultimately unimportant, and that we should focus on living a meaningful life in the present moment. Another practical technique for overcoming perfectionism is to practice self-compassionate self-talk. This means being kind and supportive to ourselves, rather than berating ourselves for our flaws or mistakes. Epictetus wrote about the importance of self-talk in his discourses, saying, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." By focusing on the present moment, practicing self-compassionate self-talk, and adopting a Stoic mindset, we can learn to overcome perfectionism and cultivate a greater sense of self-compassion and contentment in our lives. The Stoics also believed in the power of perspective when it comes to overcoming perfectionism. Marcus Aurelius wrote about the importance of seeing things from a different point of view in his meditations. By viewing our imperfections and setbacks as opportunities for growth and learning, we can cultivate a more positive and constructive mindset. Another important Stoic principle for overcoming perfectionism is the idea of memento mori, which means, remember that you will die. This might sound morbid, but it's actually a powerful reminder of our mortality and the fleeting nature of life. By recognizing that our time on earth is limited, we can focus on what really matters and let go of the need to be perfect. The Stoic philosopher Epictetus also emphasized the importance of distinguishing between what is in our control and what is not. When it comes to perfectionism, this means recognizing that we cannot control everything and that it's okay to make mistakes and experience setbacks. By adopting a Stoic perspective and practicing techniques like memento mori and focusing on what is within our control, we can learn to overcome perfectionism and cultivate a more fulfilling and meaningful life. The Stoics also believed in the importance of cultivating a sense of purpose and meaning in our lives. This is particularly relevant when it comes to overcoming perfectionism, as we often become fixated on achieving certain goals or outcomes without considering whether they are truly meaningful or fulfilling. The Stoic philosopher Seneca wrote about the importance of living a meaningful life in his essay on the shortness of life. He argued that we should focus on pursuing things that are truly valuable and worthwhile, rather than wasting our time on trivial pursuits. Another practical technique for overcoming perfectionism is to practice self-compassionate goal setting. This means setting goals that are realistic and meaningful, and being kind and supportive to ourselves when we experience setbacks or obstacles. By cultivating a sense of purpose and meaning in our lives, and practicing self-compassionate goal setting, we can overcome perfectionism and live a more fulfilling and satisfying life. The Stoics believed that true happiness comes not from external achievements, but from living a virtuous life and pursuing what is truly valuable and worthwhile. The Stoics also believed in the importance of community and social connection when it comes to overcoming perfectionism. We often become fixated on our own individual goals and achievements, but the Stoics believed that true happiness and fulfillment come from being part of something larger than ourselves. The Stoic philosopher Epictetus wrote about the importance of social connection in his discourses. He argued that we should cultivate strong relationships with others and contribute to our communities in meaningful ways. Another practical technique for overcoming perfectionism is to practice gratitude and appreciation for the people in our lives. By recognizing and expressing gratitude for the support and encouragement of others, we can cultivate a greater sense of connection and belonging. By prioritizing social connection and practicing gratitude, we can overcome perfectionism and cultivate a more meaningful and fulfilling life. The Stoics believed that we are all interconnected and that our actions have a ripple effect on those around us. By focusing on our relationships with others and contributing to our communities, we can make a positive impact on the world and find greater happiness and fulfillment. In conclusion, Stoic philosophy offers a wealth of practical strategies for overcoming perfectionism and cultivating self-compassion. By adopting a Stoic mindset, we can learn to focus on the present moment, view setbacks as opportunities for growth, and cultivate a sense of purpose and connection in our lives. We can practice self-compassionate self-talk, set realistic and meaningful goals, and prioritize social connection and gratitude. By following the wisdom of the Stoics, we can overcome the harmful effects of perfectionism and live a more fulfilling and satisfying life. Remember, perfection is unattainable, but a life of purpose, meaning, and virtue is always within reach. Thank you for watching this video from Stoic Mastery. We hope that you found it informative and helpful in your journey towards mastery of Stoicism.